Hey, basketball fans, I'm Harrison Graham. You're watching NBA Now by Chat Sports. If you love the NBA, go ahead and like this video. Lots of news and rumors to get into, so let's go ahead and start things off. How about Mo Bamba? Could he be heading to the Los Angeles Lakers as we start with some Lakers news and rumors here? There's been some chatter around these two parties. A report coming out of the New York Post, Mark Berman had this one, that the Lakers have interest in acquiring Bamba from Orlando. Now, keep in mind, Anthony Davis is banged up. More on an injury update there in just a few minutes, but Bamba has kind of been phased out of the Magic's rotation. Skilled big man, that's why he was the number 6 pick in the 2018 NBA draft, but he's dealt with some injuries. I know he missed some games with the COVID protocols earlier this year, and now he's playing literally less than 9 minutes per game this season for Orlando, which is surprising considering how highly they drafted him just a couple of years ago, and the fact that they've had some injuries this year. I can't believe he's played this little. Now, they have a lot of bigs. They've got Nikola Vucevic, obviously, but 5-4 in just 9 minutes per game. He's shooting over 51% from the field. I'm surprised they're not playing some of their younger guys in Orlando, but could be a good news for the Lakers to potentially buy low on a former lottery selection in just 2018. I think the Lakers may need to consider something like this because who knows how much time Anthony Davis will actually end up missing. I liked Mo Bamba a lot coming out of Texas. I think he still could put on 10, 15 pounds to beef up a little bit, but he's a good shot blocker. He can shoot a little bit, and he can score around the basket. A lot of talent, a lot of skill. I'd like to see someone unveil that talent elsewhere than Orlando. So name a player the Lakers should trade for. Go ahead and let me know down in the comments. What do you think on this one? Think a guy like Mo Bamba? You think more of like a guard wing type to take a little bit of pressure off of LeBron James? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Name a player Los Angeles should trade for before the trade deadline. Okay, you look at the front court, and the reason I'm kind of shifting toward a thought of trading for a big like a Mo Bamba or someone like that is Anthony Davis is banged up. You know he's a superstar. But after that, I mean, it's kind of thin. There's a couple of other guys not listed here toward the back end of the roster. But Montrezl Harrell, he's been okay. Not nearly as effective as he was with the Clippers, and we know he's not that good on defense. Marc Gasol is not the same player at this point. Markieff Morris, he's just a minutes eater at this point. He doesn't give you that much on offense. More of a just kind of rough around the edges defensive player at this point in time. You definitely could use more punch on that front court depth on both ends of the court. And I'm not going to sit here and say Mo Bamba is going to provide you a ton of that, but I think there's minutes to be had in this Lakers rotation, especially right now at the 4 and the 5 position. And I think Mo Bamba just needs the right opportunity, and getting him into a winning environment could be a good situation. I think he's worth a look. I think it's worth a call if you are the Los Angeles Lakers. He's not in their rotation. The Magic are probably going to be sellers, and if they don't view him as a part of the future, maybe the Lakers can buy low, either a future first or maybe a second this upcoming year or something like that. Maybe send back one of your end guards, Quinn Cook or something, and see if you can get Mo Bamba because he's got talent, there's no doubt. He just hasn't had a ton of opportunity, and he's definitely dealt with some injuries throughout the early portion of his career. 7 feet, 230, and he's got legitimate skills. It's not just he's a guy, he's not, Boban for the Mavs who's just eating up space in the paint. He's a guy who's got some real skill, can shoot, can move, can block shots. I like Mo Bamba's game. I just think he needs a fresh start. Should the Lakers trade for Mo Bamba? Type Y for yes, type N for no. If you're watching on our Lakers only channel, obviously answer the question and get subscribed at youtube.com/LakersTV. Let's get into the latest injury news around Anthony Davis. I know we've covered this a couple of times recently, but we continue to get new information. He was reevaluated once again on Thursday for his calf strain, and now the Lakers are going to say he will miss the next 4 weeks, and it sounds like at least the next 4 weeks. The last time we mentioned this, which was a few days ago, it sounded like it would be 2 to 3 weeks, but now LA, Frank Vogel, they say it's going to be at least 4 weeks there, and I would gander to say maybe even longer because this is starting to feel like Kevin Durant territory where the Achilles was sore, he came back, he had a calf strain, he came back, and then he popped the Achilles, and that is obviously not what you want if you are the Los Angeles Lakers. Here's what Frank Vogel had to say. We just want to put this fully behind him and be conservative with it, just to make sure that he's fully healed before he's back. And like I alluded to, the last thing you want here is a KD situation where you force the guy back too early. Now, obviously, Durant, it was in the playoffs, so it was kind of a risk-reward thing. If he could have come back and tried to win another title with the Warriors, it would have been worth it. But with AD, you're still in the first half of the regular season. If it takes 2 months, you do it because you cannot afford your still young superstar to tear his Achilles, not only for this year, but for the next few years as well. Obviously, Durant has come back and looks great post-Achilles, torn Achilles, but you'd rather not mess with that. You'd rather not find out if AD can be the same guy after an Achilles tear. So I think you take this slow. I think you take your time. If the Lakers slip slightly in the standings because of this, I think it's going to be okay. They've won a lot of games without AD. Obviously, they're not going to be as dominant of a force as they normally would be, but I just am going to continue to preach caution if I am the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, you got to be impressed with what the Jazz continue to do, but the Lakers are right there at 22-8. Maybe the Clippers jump them over this next month, but I would say at worst the Lakers are going to fall down to 3 or 4 because I think they can keep that gap between them and Portland and the Suns, and then you get after Phoenix. It's really a deep dive there. I don't see the Spurs, who have been one of the surprising teams, move up anymore at this point. Warriors, Nuggets, obviously you got the Mavs and some other teams at 9 and below. I think at worst the Lakers are still a top 4 seed type of team by the time Anthony Davis returns. And if you followed LeBron's career at all, he doesn't need the number 1 seed. He doesn't need the number 2 seed. Get him a top 4 seed, home court in the first round. It's going to be fine. Fans aren't even in arenas anyway for the most part. What seed will the Lakers be when Davis returns? Right now, they're the number 2 seed. I'll say 3. I'll say the Clippers jump them for now by the time Davis gets back. But I think they'll be top 3, and then they'll make a big push during the second half of the season. We've got jerseys available for you guys on today's show. If you go to chatsports.com/NBA jerseys, tons of different jerseys for all of your favorite teams. We got Lakers jerseys, both traditional and alternate style. We got this sweet LaMelo Ball jersey. I know a lot of you guys are fans of him. Celtics, Mavs, all kinds of jerseys available for you guys. So go ahead and take advantage. I'm pretty sure we got some Warriors jerseys too. I know we do for a fact. All 30 teams, tons of players on those teams. Pick your favorite one, pick your favorite style. Chatsports.com/NBA jerseys. That link will be in the comments. It'll be in the description. All you got to do is click and shop and pick up your favorite jersey today. We even got James Harden Nets jerseys already because we're ready to rock. Chatsports.com/NBA jerseys. Some of these are on sale as well, so go ahead and check them out.